Welcome back, animation fans, to another incredible crossover story. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the most chaotic creatures in the world met the most adorable little vampire? Well, today, we're diving into that exact scenario. It was a dark and spooky night at Hotel Transylvania. Dracula was busy planning the biggest, spookiest Halloween party of the century. Ghouls, ghosts, and monsters from all over the world were invited. But there was one tiny problem. A very important guest, a centuries-old mummy pharaoh, needed a last-minute babysitter for his little bundle of terror, a baby mummy named Dennis. Of course, Dennis from the hotel was also there, ready for a playdate. Dracula was in a panic. All his usual monster babysitters were already booked for the party. Just as he was about to pull his cape over his head in despair, his phone buzzed. It was a message from his old acquaintance, Grug. It read, "Heard you're in a jam. I'm sending my top team. They're great with kids. Mostly." Before Drac could even reply, a bright yellow, banana-shaped vehicle screeched to a halt in front of the hotel. The doors burst open, and out tumbled three familiar figures. Kevin, Stuart, and Bob, the minions. Dracula stared, his fangs agape. These were the top team. A tall one, a one-eyed one, and a tiny one, clutching a teddy bear. "Bello!" They chirped in unison. Dracula, desperate, pointed a shaky finger towards the nursery. The babies? Dennis and ... the other Dennis are in there. Just ... Keep 'em safe and quiet. No chaos. Do you understand? No chaos. Kevin gave a confident salute. Stuart strummed a phantom chord on an invisible guitar. Bob just hugged his teddy bear. Tim, a little tighter. "Puka!" "Babysit," Kevin declared. What could possibly go wrong? Famous last words at Hotel Transylvania. The minions waddled into the nursery. It was a monster toddler's paradise. There were cobweb hammocks, toy coffins, and a playpen filled with what looked like ... living slime. In the center of the room, little Dennis, with his wild red hair, was trying to teach the baby mummy, also named Dennis, how to say blah blah blah. The mummy baby just gurgled and unraveled one of his bandages. Stuart, seeing the unraveling bandage, had a brilliant idea. He grabbed the end of it and started running. "Whee!" he yelled as he zipped around the room, unraveling the baby mummy like a roll of toilet paper. The mummy baby giggled, spinning like a top until he was just a pile of bandages with two big eyes peeking out. Dennis clapped his hands in delight, thinking this was the best game ever. Kevin, the responsible one, tried to intervene. He gathered up the bandages, attempting to rewrap the baby. But wrapping a giggling, squirming baby mummy is harder than it looks. He ended up wrapping himself, the baby, in a nearby rocking horse into one giant, lumpy cocoon. Bob, meanwhile, had discovered the slime playpen. He dove in headfirst with a happy Geronimo and disappeared completely. A moment later, his head popped back up, covered in green goo. He blew a giant, slimy bubble that floated across the room and popped right on Stuart's head. "Ooh, blood," Stuart sputtered, shaking the goo off his single goggle. Dennis, seeing this new, gooey game, decided to join in. He turned into his bat form and started dive-bombing the slime, splattering it all over the walls, the ceiling, and the increasingly tangled Kevin Mummy Rockin' Horse hybrid. The nursery, once a calm and spooky sanctuary, now looked like a green, gooey disaster zone. And the party downstairs hadn't even started yet. Suddenly, a loud boom echoed from downstairs. The party had begun! The thumping bass of Monster Mash vibrated through the floor. The sound startled the babies. The mummy baby started to cry, and his magical tears caused his bandages to rewrap themselves instantly. Dennis, excited by the music, started bouncing off the walls. Literally. He turned into a bat, flew up to the ceiling, turned back into a boy, and landed with a splat in the slime pit next to Bob. Again! Again! He giggled. Stuart, inspired by the music, found a toy xylophone made of bones. He started banging out a wild, off-key tune. Bob, covered in slime, began to dance, slipping and sliding around the room. Kevin, finally free from the bandages, decided they needed a snack to calm everyone down. He ventured into the hotel's kitchen, a place filled with monstrous delicacies. He ignored the I-have-newt soup and the worm-infested cupcakes. His eyes landed on the ultimate prize, a giant bunch of bananas. Banana! He screamed in delight. He grabbed the entire bunch and rushed back to the nursery. But as he ran, he slipped on a puddle of slime left by Bob. The bananas went flying through the air in slow motion. One banana landed perfectly in Stuart's mouth, silencing his terrible music. Another flew directly into the mummy baby's hands, who immediately started chewing on it happily. A third banana sailed across the room, and splat! It hit the door just as Dracula peeked in to check on them. The banana slid slowly down his face, leaving a yellow smear across his pale skin. He looked from the banana on his face to the slime-covered walls, the bone xylophone, the giggling, goo-covered children, and the three minions standing amidst the chaos. Kevin gave a nervous wave. Stuart gave a muffled pata from behind his banana. Bob just offered Dracula a slimy hug. Dracula's eye twitched. He opened his mouth to scream, but before he could, Dennis and the mummy baby both ran up and hugged his legs. Best playdate ever, Papa Drac! Dennis cheered. The mummy baby just gurgled and held up his half-a-ton banana as an offering. Dracula looked down at the happy children, then back at the disastrous nursery. A slow smile spread across his face. It was chaos! It was a mess. But the kids were safe. And more importantly, they were having the time of their lives. He picked the banana off his face, took a bite, and looked at the minions. You know, he said thoughtfully, Mavis is going out of town next week, ... Kevin, Stuart, and Bob's eyes widened in horror. Babysitting again. They started backing away slowly towards their vehicle. No! 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 Stuart yelled, tripping over the bone xylophone. They scrambled out of the nursery, piled back into their banana-shaped car, and sped away from Hotel Transylvania, leaving a trail of tire smoke and the faint scent of banana behind them. Dracula chuckled, watching them go. He looked back at the nursery. It was a complete disaster zone that would take a whole zombie cleanup crew to fix. But Dennis and the little mummy were happily playing, chasing a glob of slime across the floor. Sometimes, a little chaos is exactly what you need, even in a hotel for monsters. He sighed. Well, at least the party is a success. From downstairs, he could hear the distinct sound of a minion yelling "banana bomb," followed by a massive, squishy explosion. It seemed one of them had left a party favor in the punch bowl. Dracula just shook his head and smiled. It was just another normal, chaotic night at Hotel Transylvania. What a wild ride. Who do you think would be more chaotic babysitters? The minions? Or maybe Stitch from Lilo instead? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your wild crossover ideas. If you enjoyed this crazy adventure, please give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow and lets us create more stories like this for you. And if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another chaotic crossover from our animation universe. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay spooky.